What's up? This is your boy Brian, aka B.DOT, the ultimate hustler. That's why I'm on B.E.T. for 10 weeks, winning this chain, winning a new watch and everything. So, you know, y'all seen my hustle, y'all seen what I can do, y'all know I'm gonna make money, and this is the crew that I make money with. So I'm gonna have everybody introduce themselves. These are my artists. Conduit Entertainment. Don't forget the website, conduitentertainment.com. And y'all wondering why I'm looking good? This is my clothing line, Okanali, okanali.com. So check us out. And then here's the fam. This is the Conduit fam. They've been laying it down for a couple years now. And probably the hardest, most talented group of rappers that you'll find, period. And I'm not just saying that because, you know, they with the label. It's like serious too. So here everybody go. I guess we'll start with Bo.
This your boy Arkansas Bo, aka Blind Dog Willie Brown, you know what I'm saying? Second member of Sugar City, my boy Goins couldn't be here today. What up, boy? We got this new mixtape coming out, you know what I'm saying? Wake Up Show, y'all need to cop that if you can. It's a new single called Look It. Y'all be watching out for that, you know what I'm talking about?
What's going down, y'all? My name's Epiphany, a.k.a. Big Piff the Hustler. Shoot, a.k.a. Move Units, a.k.a. whatever I need to be. Also the president of Conduit, pretty much, man. We just got a little mixtape. We got hot in the streets right now, Wake Up Show. You know what I'm saying? Got the whole squad on it. Also, we got an album dropping April 11th that y'all all gotta look out for. Don't even have a title for it yet, but y'all gonna know when it comes, man. I have my mug on it. Probably have the Ultimate Hustlers mug on it. These cats on it as well. So y'all be sure to look for that now. Also, the entertainment, the website is, one more time, conduitenc.com. Y'all check that out for real.
Yeah, this your boy Soldier T from the A-State, baby, and we here. We doing it big now. Check out that Rude Awakening with me and my boy DK. It's coming soon.
Already, this your boy DK, a.k.a. D-Killer, man. On the same mixtape, y'all already know what it is. I'll let you boy.
Big ups to the whole A-State, for sure.
No, we already. Yeah. Big up to all the HBCUs. You know, y'all doing your thing. Went to Morehouse for like a semester and everything, so it was all good. It was fun. So shout out to Spelman too, especially Spelman and the females at Clark Atlanta and Morris Brown. Keep your head up, females at Morris Brown. Y'all gonna get back in. And when y'all back in school, we'll be there on the strip, chilling, waiting to kick it.
Gotcha. Brian, let me ask you, coming from, you know, that Stanford background, how did you get involved in all this, you know, this rap business?
I mean, you know, rap is or hip hop rather, is a huge industry now that's a serious business option. Even though a lot of people are kind of coming to it late and not really understanding how big it is, but it's probably the most influential cultural element in America right now, and also influences the whole world. So from one standpoint, it was a straight business move. You know what I'm saying? It was like, you know, the obvious choice. I love it too. I'm a fan of hip hop from jump. And so it was like, hey, if I could get into business and make money from doing something that I've already loved and loved listening to and been a fan of for all my life, why not do it? And so it was kind of a natural little fit. So the Stanford background, hey, it was good, and it definitely gave me some tools. But, you know, from a business standpoint, it made sense. A lot more cats from the Stanfords, the Harvards, and the HBCUs are going to be thinking about hip-hop as a viable business option because of all the money it's generated in the past few years, and that it looks like it'll continue to generate as well. So I think it's a natural connection.
And when you first got into college, was your plan to own your own label?
I mean, not necessarily to own my own label. When I first got into college, my plan was to make a lot of money. And so I didn't know how it was going to happen. And I guess around as soon as I graduated, it just came to like my mind that, hey, I could really make a lot of money and do something I love. Whereas before, I was like, okay, I'm gonna just have to grind it out in this internet startup. I'm gonna have to just grind it out in some type of industry for a few years and stack my money and then do something with it. You know, I was showing the way that hey, you know, we had this opportunity. I hooked up with my man Epiphany, you know, right behind me or whatever, and he was doing this thing in New York. And we was just talking, and it started to really make sense that we could start a label and be just as successful, if not more so, than a lot of the successful labels in the past decade. You know, we knew we had the talent, we knew we had the skill set, and we knew we had already from a fan standpoint, we knew what was good and we knew what was bad. And so we could also differentiate what was hot. And with all that in mind, it was like, hey, let's start the label and let's make this money.
Okay. Now, both you and Epiphany have moved around a lot. I looked at your bio. talk about how you guys met and how you guys met the whole crew and to come together, this whole unit.
Cool. I mean, I met Piff while I was in school. He went to Stanford with me, and so we met there, and we weren't, we wouldn't necessarily run with the same circles or whatever, but so we just kind of casually talk. Everybody there kind of knows each other. But it was after we graduated. We were both done. I was doing my thing in Silicon Valley at an internet startup. He was doing his thing in New York, really just starting to learn the industry, and he was studying everything about it out there. And that's when we'd have these kind of conversations. They started as infrequent, maybe once every couple of weeks. We just chop it up a little bit. But then as we started like talking more, we really just started seeing like, dang, we really got something here. He's very talented as an MC. I already saw that. I saw that while we were at school. And I also saw he was a smart dude who really knew how to move. He's a meticulous thinker. So from a business standpoint, he would be a great partner. And it just kind of came together. And then Piff could probably talk about how everybody else got involved just because, he kind of brought them on board from his home state.
Yeah, pretty much once we were in New York and decided it was best to kind of implement those tactics back to the home front, came back, hooked up with my man Tony Pro, who brought along Goins, who was one half of Sugar City. And Goins was pretty much like, I'm only going to ride if my man Arkansas Bo rides. So Bo was cold, so it's like, man, let's go ahead and roll with that. And Bo was like one time, hey man, I got my little folks from back in the gut. That's, spit whatever wants to ride up here for like this interview. That happened to be DK. DK was like killing the freestyles the whole way up there, so it's like pretty much, if you down to kind of play a background for a second or three, then you could definitely roll with us too. DK pretty much wasn't satisfied with that, so now he's kind of like on every mixtape. 7 out of 6 tracks, DK's on that. And DK is really just a family thing. DK's from the gut. Bring his man Soldier T along, now they got their own mixtape coming out. So it's pretty much one of those like steel, sharp and steel, real recognized real things. So that's how the whole family came, and so that's how I meet people like DJ Shadow, hook up with like media relations companies like AISWE, stuff like that, man. It's just the whole, whoever's really real about their business, whatever that is, whether that's artistry or media relations or making money or getting to where they need to go, and we can ride with them. That's how we do it.
Okay. There's a lot of mind power. You got 2 Stanford minds on this crew.
It's not a game.
What do you think? Because I know you guys was the #1 label out of Arkansas, independent. Was that last year? What are you doing that no other Arkansas, no other person in the industry, period, is doing?
I mean, I don't know if it's that, because definitely there's other labels in Arkansas that's definitely doing their thing, and they on the streets every week too, and they making good music as well. So as far as though what I think differentiates us is probably like our work ethic that is tireless. I mean, we're not gonna stop working, and I don't care if we got to get 1 hour sleep or no sleep. If we got to get stuff done, it's gonna get done. So we're always in the street. We're always keeping it, moving. Also, I think our network has definitely helped. So we've been blessed just to kind of have a very strong network of individuals that have helped us from all different angles. So I mean, people that didn't necessarily have to help, but just helped us because they may have known us or they may have seen us work in other capacities, kind of lended that hand out, which has given us a step up. So even like with the show and everything, get on the show, and now that gives us some more leverage. We were on TV for 10 weeks straight. And so now we just have a little advantage over other independents, because we definitely know what it's like to be an independent with a very small budget and having radio and TV kind of just look the other way because you're not the biggest thing out right then. So we can relate to that struggle, but at the same time, we kind of were able to persevere through those times of being broke, persevere through those times of not necessarily getting our single in every single rotation on different radio stations. We're able to persevere through that, and now we're at a state where people actually are looking for us. And so it's kind of more so we just put in the work. They talk about how everybody in the entertainment industry or rap industry seems to have like, yeah, I was doing this for 3 years, I was doing this for 4 years, they're doing it for 5 years before we really got put on. Well, we've been doing it for like 3 years now. So now we're like, we planted seeds 3 years ago, now we're starting to see those sprout. And I think that's kind of like why now we look a little different than some of the other independents who may have been doing their thing, but maybe it's only been for a year or 2 years. And I'm sure, their seeds will sprout eventually too, but right now, hey, it's our turn. It's our turn to get money and blow up. So that's what we're going to do.
Also, I just like to add that real quick. I just think also definitely, as B.DOT was saying, it's not taken away from any other labels, because a lot of labels really doing their thing and show love. But I think we just have like a balance that's incredible. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's on an artistic tip, we kind of just like have the full pie in artistry. You know what I'm saying? You have like, you know, not to go to too many labels, but you know, whether you claim like just street or conscious or whatever type rap you like, we got something to meet your needs pretty much. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the full pie of the game. Even on the business side, you know, we can walk into the business meetings, talk to corporate, chop it up, and then, you know what I'm saying, holler at whoever's on the block and talk to saying, you know what I'm saying, speak what we speak. It's just kind of like, whenever situation we're in, we bring ourselves, which is the real to it, and kind of like cats just recognize that. So at the end of the day, I think it's like we can dip in any field and be comfortable. Make it look good.
Okay. B.DOT, you can't answer this question. This goes out to the crew. When you guys saw your man win on Ultimate Hustler, what was going through your mind?
It's on.
Straight
up.
It's on.
It's when they get cracked.
Well, give me more than that. I'm gonna go around. I want to hear, you know.
Well, you know, at first, you know, Dame he was playing around with my man. I thought he was gonna lose the joint. So then right there, you know, I automatically stood up because we was in New York, and you know the house was full of conduit shirts. So when we thought he was finna lose, we was just finna go down to 106 Park and, you know, see what we can make happen. just to see what we can make happen. We wasn't tearing nothing up, not that much, but you know what I'm saying. We just went. We was all down there, and man, it was a good feeling though, to be real. You know what I'm saying, when he switched it up. Told my man he got it, and I was like, okay, yeah, I feel a whole lot better. It was just like his own now, you know what I'm saying? I'm in the game. Yeah. Let's go.
So first, so it hit me just kind of like the same way, being real cool with him. It was just like a whole personal congratulations, like, you know what I'm saying? Seeing him in the struggle with me for this long, and then seeing him win now, just like a great personal achievement on his own tip. Then after that, I was just selfish thinking. I was like, man, you gotta get this thing pop. It's kind of like we've been, you know what I'm saying? I remember 3 years back being out late night, 20 degrees, putting flies like this in people's windshield wipers, and it's kind of like, man, about time soon this paid off. So it's kind of like, it just looked like this is our time, you know. It's the transition pivotal point for Conduit just to reach the masses now, man. So it's kind of just like what we deserve, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like people say work smarter and not harder and whatnot. We work smarter and harder, so it's kind of like that's what it was right there.
Okay.
Yeah, I was happy for him, man. I almost turned to Fat Ab and tried to jump on the TV screen and go ahead. But yeah, that's what I was like, man. I was like, it's on now. A-State finna blow.
Yeah. Me, man, basically, I was just already, when it came down to the last three, I was basically knew that my man was gonna win it, because, you know what I'm saying, I know what he do, you know what I'm saying, and I was just calling everybody, letting them know, man, we better get ready for us, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I was real happy for the cat, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
What it is.
What stopped, or maybe it's gonna happen? Are you gonna take the label and maybe sign with a Rockefeller or a Def Jam now that you're, you know, in that circle?
You know, that's a lot of discussion, because at the end of the day, the money has to be right. What was good was the win, and I look at the win as kind of a collective win too. I don't really look at it as an individual thing, because what we've all been doing, you know, all of us for the past 2 years, is what gave me the ability to even get on the show, much less have the tools and skill set then to surpass everybody that was there. So going back to the original question, I mean, we've gotten an open door at all the majors. You know, they all know who I am, they all know I have recognition, they all know that, hey, we know how to sell records, because we saw them on TV and we saw them before the show, and now it's like that much easier for us to sell records because we've got familiarity throughout the whole nation. So are we going to sign with a Def Jam and everything? If Def Jam come with the right offer, yeah, we'll sign with Def Jam. I got nothing against it. But at the end of the day, it's a complete business decision. Dame's been real good, you know, since the show and everything. He's basically like, yo, anything you need, just let me know. So I know I can rely on Dame to really look at different deals that are going to come across the table and everything, and you know, really help us assess certain things and see whether or not they're good and something we want to enter into or not. Right now, we're keeping it independent just because we want to have more independent record sales, just to have the most leverage at the negotiation table. I don't want any major to be able to punk us or strong arm us into taking a deal that we don't really want, because they know that we need them more than they need us. I want to get us to a point where they know that they need us more than that we really need them, because we're already getting our paper. And so then we have the strength in the negotiation table, and that's ideally how I want to approach the majors. So, you know, we have that door open. We'll be talking with them and everything, but we're not in a rush. We got the talent, we got a fan base, and now we've got the ability to get on the radio and get them clubs and get everywhere. So we'll start using that, and when the major deal comes, that's when we'll sign.
Okay. Talk about your relationship. You said 4 letters. Dame.
Yeah.
Talk about Dame a little bit, and if you guys have met with him, y'all give us your impression of him. He seems like a very complex individual.
Yeah, I mean, Dame's a cool dude. You know, I mean, like he really put himself out there. So with the show, a lot of people probably don't notice, and I don't know if I'm putting it on blast, but like there was no formal negotiation or agreement that the winner of the show was necessarily getting anything having to do with Dame. You know, that wasn't written on paper, that wasn't in the contract. But Dame's a real dude, so after the show, he basically throws it out there, and he's like, yo, there's a place for you here, under this umbrella. I know you're doing your thing with your label and other things, so I don't want to take away from that, but there's a place for you here, and anything I could do, you know, as far as your current fam, or your fam right now, that they under this umbrella too. So he put it out there like that, and I really respected that, because he was kind of offering like, hey, I'm here, you know, you could work for this, you could get money over here, and we could build, and at the same time, I'm not gonna ask you to stop working with what you've been working for the past 3 years. So I respected that a lot, and essentially, you know, how we're working now, I'm going out there in a couple weeks, and we're gonna talk about how really my role with him is gonna look. One thing for certain though is we building the building. You know, we looking at doing that. That's real. That wasn't just for TV. That's a real project that's going to make a ton of money. So Dame wanted to do it, and of course I wanted to do it. So we're going to be working on that a lot, and then as well as some different side projects. But Dame's a smart dude. You know, he's a smart dude. He's calculated, and he's got a lot of integrity, which I respect. So from a mentor standpoint, I can't think of too many other people I'd rather have to be able to sit with, to understand, to see how they move, to see how they make business decisions, to see how they assess deals. You know, other than Dame, to do that, because he's made millions of dollars in the industries that we're entering right now with Conduit. As far as the record label, he's made millions and probably put out 2 of the greatest, or who will be looked at as 2 of the greatest hip-hop artists of all time. He found them and put them out and sold millions with them. And then also with the clothing line, Okanali. You know, Dame did it with Rockaway, sold millions, and that's what I'm trying to do as well with Okanali. So, hey, I definitely want to learn from him. There's a lot to be learned.
Okay. Speak on the clothing line a little bit, the designers and you know, the website on that as well.
Okay, so the founders are 2 individuals. One's named Sonny Ali. He's actually a graduate of FAM, and also Okon. His last name I can't pronounce. I'm all bad, Okon. He's Nigerian, but so he got a long last name. But we just call him Kon. So O. But them are the 2 founders and everything, and Sonny Ali, he's one of the principal designers. The whole concept behind that was like, you got a whole generation of people now, as I was saying earlier, like hip-hop is huge, and it's across country boundaries now, and it's also across age lines. So you got cats who are now like 30 years old who grew up on hip-hop, you know, who grew up listening to hip-hop. You got people who's 25, you know, around our age, that grew up on hip-hop. Now, we don't necessarily want to dress like the 15-year-olds that listen to the same type of music. We both part of the same urban culture and everything. We both part of the same kind of like music and love the same music, but we're at different stages in our life. So Okanali comes through and it's like, yo, a lot of the clothing designers, a lot of the urban clothing designers cater to styles that's more younger in nature, you know, 25 and down or something like that. So Okanali, the whole concept behind Okanali is dressed like royalty. And so we've got these currencies. I don't know if you could see them, but currencies from all over the world, you know, in different countries and everything.